Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are safe at your home. So stay home and stay fit. This video is for the students of class 7th, subject English. In this video, we shall read our lesson number 7, that is tenses, from our grammar book, that is PC Ren's Grammar. And this is my lecture number 1 for tenses. So, in this video, we shall read the following topics. First of all, we will have a look on introduction to tense. After that, we will read simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. So now let's start our topic, that is tenses. Now the question arises, what is tense or what are tenses? So tenses are the forms of a verb that are used to show the time of the action expressed by the verb. Means tenses are those forms of verbs that express time of an action, or we can say tenses tell us whether an action takes place in the past, present, or future. Now before moving forward, let's have a look on introduction of tenses. The word tense is derived from Latin word tempus, which means time. A verb indicates the time of an action, event, or condition by changing its form. Now, tenses are categorized on two bases. First, based on time frame. The verb tenses may be classified according to the time frame, and it is classified in three parts according to time frame, that is first present tense, past tense, and future tense. So as tenses are classified in three parts on the basis of time frame, what are these three parts? First present, past, and then future. So what do you mean by present tense? The present tense is used to describe things that are happening right now or things that happen every day. So basically present tense shows those actions that happens right now or that happen every day. Okay. Now, what is past tense? The past tense is used to describe things that have already happened. For example, yesterday, last week, 3 years ago. Okay. And what is future tense? The future tense describes things that are yet to happen. Means future. Things which will happen in future that have not happened yet. For example, later, tomorrow, next week, next year. Now, as we read that tenses are classified on the basis of time frame, in the similar way, tenses are also categorized on the basis of aspect. The verb tenses may also be classified according to aspect. Aspect refers to nature of the action described by verb, or we can say that present tense, past tense, and future tense are further subdivided into four parts. That is indefinite or simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Now, what is indefinite tense? They describe an action but do not state whether the action is finished. So, all the indefinite tense describe an action but they do not state whether the action is finished or not. Okay? Continuous tense, they describe an unfinished action that is in continue. Okay, that is not finished yet. Perfect tense describe a finished action that has been done. And perfect continuous tense, They describe an action which was in progress and then finished. So, in total, there are 12 possible verb tenses. Tenses, they are categorized in three parts: present, past, and future. Now, present, past, and future are also subdivided into four parts, that is, present indefinite tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. Then past tense is also subdivided into past indefinite tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. And similarly, future tense is also subdivided into four parts, that are future indefinite tense, or we can say simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and future perfect continuous tense. Now in this video we shall read about simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. So let's start with our first topic, that is simple present tense. So let's start with the first tense, that is simple present tense. This tense is used to state facts and habits. And in this tense we always use verb first form, or we can say first form of verb plus s or es. Now the question arises, where do we use s or es? We always use s or es when the subject is singular. If the subject is plural, then we will not add any s or es with the verb first form. See with the help of example, they live in Delhi. Now they is a plural subject. So that's why I have not added any s or es with verb first form. And if you see the second example, Rosie lives in Delhi. Now Rosie is singular subject. That's why I have added s with the verb first form, that is live. Okay. Now let's discuss formation of simple present tense. Now sentences can also be categorized in three types: positive sentences, or we can say affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. Now see the formation of simple present tense for affirmative sentences. Subject, or we can say doer of the action, plus verb first form plus s or es plus object. Now the question arises, where will we will use s or es? S or es will be added with verb first form when the subject is singular. Okay. Now come to negative sentences. For negative sentences, the formation is subject plus do not or does not plus verb first form plus object. Now again the question arises, when we will use do not or does not. Do not will be used when the subject is plural, and does not will be used when the subject is singular. Now let's come to interrogative sentences. The formation for interrogative sentences is do or does plus subject plus first form of verb plus object and plus question mark. Now again the question arises, when we will use do or does. If the subject is singular, then does will be used, and if the subject is plural, then do will be used. Okay. Now let's have a look on some uses of simple present tense. First, simple present tense is used for habits or repeated actions. For example, we play tennis every day. Second, simple present tense is used for general truths, things that are always true. For example, fish live in water. This is a general truth that they live in water. Third, simple present tense is used for things that stay the same for a long time. For example, my grandparents live in Nagpur. Fourth, simple present tense is used to express a planned future action. For example, the match starts at 9 o'clock. So this was all about simple present tense or present indefinite tense. Now we shall read simple past tense, or we can say simple indefinite tense. So what is simple past tense? Simple past tense is used to express an action completed in definite past, or to express a habit in the past. In this tense, we always use verb second form of verb. See with the help of example. It rained yesterday. Now this sentence shows an action that has been completed in past. That's why I have used second form of verb of rain, that is rained. See another example. As a young man, I trekked a lot. Now this sentence shows a habit in the past. That's why I have used second form of verb of trek. Okay. Now let's have a look on formation of simple past tense. Now, as we discussed in simple present tense that sentences are divided in three types. In this also we will read formation of simple past tense for positive sentences, or we can say affirmative sentences, negative sentences and interrogative sentences. So for affirmative sentences, the formation is subject or doer of the action plus verb second form plus object. And for negative sentences, the formation is subject plus did not plus verb first form. Now keep this point in mind that with did, we will always use verb first form. We will never use verb second form with did. Okay, and at last object will come. Now formation for interrogative sentences is did plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Now as I told you that with did we will always use verb first form. Okay, so that's why the formation for interrogative sentences of simple past tense is did plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Now, there are some spelling rules. Let's have a look on those rules. The first rule is if the verb ends in E, add D. For example, live, lived, stare, stared. The second rule is if the verb ends in vowel Y, then add ED. For example, play, played, stay, stayed. The third rule is if the verb ends in consonant Y, change Y to IED. For example, try, tried, carry, carried. The fourth rule is one syllable words ending in vowel plus consonant, double the ending consonant and add ed. For example, node, noded, rip, ripped. The fifth rule is two-syllable words having stress on second syllable and ending in vowel plus consonant. Double the ending consonant and add ed. For example, commit, committed, prefer, preferred. The last rule is some irregular verbs which don't change in past tense. For example, put, put, cut, cut, hit, hit. Okay. Now Let's have a look on uses of simple past tense. The first use is to express completed action in the past. For example, I saw a ghost last Friday. The second use is it is used for habits and repeated actions in the past. For example, when I was in Chennai, I went to the beach every day. The third use is to refer a definite time in the past. For example, I saw the Eiffel Tower in 2007. The fourth use is to indicate series of finished actions. For example, first he read the book and then he watched the movie. So, this was our simple past tense. Now we shall read simple future tense. So, what is simple future tense? Simple future tense is used to say what we think or know. What we think or know will happen in the future. So, basically, it talks about future. In this tense, we always use will or shall plus verb first form. For example, Sheetal will visit us tomorrow. So we used will plus verb first form. Okay. See second example. I shall go to the party tomorrow. Again we have used verb first form of verb with shall. So this is simple future tense. Now the question arises where we will use will or shall. See. So now we shall read use of will and shall in the future tense. With I and we will always use shall, and with he, she, it, you and they we will always use will. Okay. So now let's have a look on formation of simple future tense. So formation for simple future tense of positive or affirmative sentences is subject plus will or shall plus verb first form plus object. I have already told you that where we will use will or shall. Now come to formation for simple future tense of negative sentences. Subject plus will or shall plus not plus verb first form plus object. Okay. Now formation for interrogative sentences is will or shall plus subject plus verb first form and plus object, and at last question mark. Okay. Now let's have a look on some uses of simple future tense. The first use of simple future tense is for thoughts, predictions, assumptions, sureness and fears about future. For example, I am sure you will enjoy the show. I think it will rain this afternoon. The second use is to express actions decided at the moment of speech. For example, it is cold, I will shut the window. Third use is for unpreventable actions in future. For example, summer will come soon. And last use of simple future tense is for offering or asking for a request, promising, ordering and threatening. For example, I am afraid we will get wet. So these were the uses of simple future tense. Now let's have a look on difference between will and be going to plus base form, or we can say verb first form. Will is used to express future action decided at the moment of speaking, or we can say immediate decisions. For example, I will have salad now. Whereas be going to plus V1 is used to express future plans. They are used to express immediate decisions, and be going to plus verb first form is used to express future plans decided before the moment of speaking, or we can say prior plans. For example, I am going to visit my aunt next Friday. Next, see the second point. Will is used to express a prediction based on personal opinions or experiences. For example, I think United will win the game. So this is based on personal opinion. Whereas be going to plus verb first form is used to express a prediction based on present evidence. For example, look at those black clouds. It is going to rain. So what was the evidence? Black clouds. Okay. See the next difference. Will is used to express a future act. For example, the sun will rise tomorrow. This is a future fact. Whereas be going to plus verb first form is used to express that something is about to happen. For example, get back, the bomb is going to explode. So what is going to happen? The bomb is going to explode. Clear? So, this was all for today's lecture, in which we discussed introduction to tense, simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. I hope you understood it. Now you have to revise these indefinite tenses and you have to do given exercise. So this is your first exercise. This is given in your books. If you are having your books, then you can do this exercise in your books itself. Otherwise, do it in your notebook. So the first exercise is, below are 6 general truths. Fill in the blanks with suitable verbs. Use the simple present tense. The first sentence is, the sun dash in the west. Second sentence is, birds dash nest. Third, rain dash from the clouds. Fourth, cows dash grass. Fifth, frogs dash both on land and in water. And sixth, the earth dash around the sun. Now, your second exercise is, what do you usually do on Sundays? Write 5 sentences using the simple present tense in your notebook. This exercise is also given in your book. So, either do it on a page and paste that page on your book. Otherwise, you can do it in your notebook also. Now, this is your third exercise. This exercise is not given in your book. This is your extra exercise. So, do it in your notebook. The exercise is, put the verbs into the correct form. That is simple past. First, one night we even dash some Irish dances. Second, we dash very lucky with the weather. Third, it dash a lot. Fourth, but we dash some beautiful rainbows. Fifth, where dash your last holiday. Now this is your fourth exercise. This exercise is also not given in your books, so do it in your notebook. The exercise is, fill in the blanks with suitable verbs. Use the simple future tense. First, I dash to Mumbai next week. Second, I dash even if it rains. Third, we dash to the station to see off our friend. The fourth sentence is, they dash a friendly hockey match in the evening. Fifth, if it rains in time, the crops dash well. Sixth, I hope you dash me money. So now you have to do all these exercises. Okay, this is your homework. So that is all for today's lecture. That is lecture number 1 of lesson 7 tenses. I hope you liked this video. If you liked this video, then please subscribe our channel.